Okay, it's weekly rotation time. We are in the first week of April, and it just seems like yesterday was New Year's Eve. How does that work? Either way, we have well and truly said goodbye to summer here in Melbourne. It's going to rain for the rest of the week here, and temperatures have definitely dropped, although, it's relatively not that cold compared to other parts of the world. I've had an interesting week. I'm something that I don't think I've actually gotten to show you on the channel before, and it's going to be a first for you guys. I chose to wear a bottle of perfume that, in the scheme of things, actually ended up being a really important perfume for my own perfume development, I guess the development of my taste, the perfume that opened up olfactory doors for me when I first started out. And it's been mentioned on this channel right from the very early days when I had, double-digit subscriber counts. It's Timbuktu, and as you can tell, it is now empty. And it's a little bit bittersweet because I did love this perfume for the majority of the time I had it. Towards the end, I still wore it. I still enjoyed it, but I just knew that when this bottle would have no more juice left in it, even though this is one of the classic Lancome and Parfumeur that are still in production, albeit with different packaging to this, I am not going to replace it. And I just feel like I don't need to have it in my wardrobe. Like, I've definitely worn it probably, well, as you saw in my last video, it's one of my most worn perfumes ever. And I've just enjoyed the time, and I think with some things, and I guess it depends on what type of personality you have in terms of how difficult or easy you find it to let go of things. Because I've spoken to people with different mindsets in regards to stuff like this, like where some people will be getting close to the end of precious perfumes and they're doing everything they can to hoard what little they have left. Whereas I've always been of the mind, I have a few really favorite perfumes that are nearing the end of their journey with me, but it's not stopping me from wearing them when I want to wear them. I'm just going to enjoy them to the fullest, and if at that point, either, like in the case of Timbuktu, I've had my fill, I don't need to have it anymore, or things like MFK's Absolu pour le soir, it seems to be discontinued as well. I would repurchase that perfume if it was available, but I'm just going to enjoy what I have, be sad when it comes to the end, and see if there's something new out there that could probably fill that void a little bit. I mean, you can apply this to different aspects of your life, but that's kind of how I'm approaching my perfume at the moment. So Timbuktu and I, it was beautiful while we had it, and now it's gone, and so goodbye, Timbuktu. Okay, so to the samples that I wore this week. The rest were from my bottle collection. I'm just trying to decide which one I'll mention first. Okay, for the first time, I wore a perfume that is yet to be released, and I've spoken about the brand Bougie Bougie before, in particular talking about how much I love Gilded. Now, this is called Inferno, and it is a perfume that I guess was announced or for exhibit at the most recent Exence in Milan. It's not yet available to buy, but that will be soon, so keep an eye out on the website for when that's available. I won't say too much because I'm working on a review of this, but it is this. I made a post on Instagram doing my best to kind of describe the experience of wearing this. There are very distinct, juicy, tropical fruit accords in this perfume, and it is juxtaposed with what I kind of describe as a smoky, hot accord, which reminded me of steaming sort of those volcanoes that are they dormant if they're still kind of steaming? Yeah, dormant volcanoes where I was just put in that mind of these fruits and that environment. And it works really well, because one balances out the other. It is like the rest of Bougie's perfumes. They evoke, for me, evoke places that don't exist in reality in our 3D world. Definitely places that exist in the imagination, and the beauty of that type of style of perfumery, if you can achieve it, is that anyone who wears these perfumes can have a very unique interpretation of what they're experiencing. And so for me, in case I'm not being clear, I really, really enjoyed wearing Inferno. It hasn't quite taken over from Gilded as my favorite Bougie perfume, but it's pretty damn good and probably just behind it for me. And I love the fact that I don't have many fruit flavored perfumes in my collection, and this one really stands out. It's front and center. So if you're a bit worried about that, just know what to expect. But it is in the midst of a more interesting, expansive olfactory landscape. That's only a part of it. So that's Inferno by Bougie. And the other perfume I'm about to talk about, which I also wore, really sharpened my focus on a particular perfume material. So, resins, lots of different resins are used in perfumery. Some are really popular, like, the obvious ones, the incense resins like frankincense and myrrh. Then there's the ones used in amber accords like labdanum and benzoin and that kind of thing. And one that doesn't get talked about a lot or is prominent in a lot of perfumes, in my mind, is Opoponax. Now, I won't go into great detail about what Opoponax is, but it's a tree resin like frankincense, like myrrh. This is often referred to as sweet myrrh, and I can see why that is. It has more of a sweetness to it than actual myrrh resin when you smell it in perfume, but. The perfume I wore that it is exhibited in and showcased is from Diptyque. This is Hollande, and this is a very early Diptyque perfume, and I believe that at the moment you can only buy it from the Diptyque boutique, so it's not widely distributed in Diptyque stockists, but it is still available to buy. And I just love that. Apart from my Santa Maria Novella Opoponax perfume, this is the next perfume where I've been able to smell that material front and center, along with more. Essentially, it's an amber perfume, but it's an amber with a difference, and it's not just vanillic and sweet and powdery. It has all those. I'm just trying to. It's almost like the texture and color I get from this is almost like when you look at a polished polished copper, and you just change the angle to the light, and you get different colors with that warmth of the copper undertone. It's a really strange way to express it to you, but it's a very warm and elemental kind of perfume, Olan. It's very comforting as well, but also not in the traditional way that ambery vanillic perfumes are. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed wearing it. I've got a bit of my sample left, and I'll get several wears out of it, but I suspect I'm going to want a bottle of that one if I continue to enjoy it as much as I do. Okay, let's move on through the rest of the bottles I wore this week. I started the week off with my boy from Chanel Les Exclusives. I also wore my reference Immortelle perfume Sable by Annick Goutal. My favorite olfactive studio, Woody Mood from Bertrand Duchefort, and that doesn't have much left either, but that is one I'm definitely going to be repurchasing. Then my very, very precious bottle from the very early 80s of Maginoire Eau de Toilette from Lancome. And today I've decided to go with, like I said on one of my Instagram posts or stories, this is not exactly my favorite Guerlain perfume because I have several of them and I love some more than this, but this is most definitely my favorite vetiver soliflora, I guess you want. There's much more going on than just vetiver, but I'm yet to find a vetiver dominant perfume that I prefer to wear over this. So that is my weekly rotation. That's my week in review. I'm curious to know how you feel about finishing perfumes, like what, especially ones that you're not sure you're going to be replacing or that are discontinued, what your approach is, whether you just are like me, enjoy the perfumes or try to hoard as many of those precious drops as possible. I will see you all next week or sometime during the week with another video, and hope you all have a good 7 days ahead. It's been lovely talking to you. That's it from me. I'm going to stop rambling. I'll see you all soon. Thank you.